Hello guys, you are with the Tech Science. Today the discussion point is cell structure and function. This point actually belongs to the class 8 for science and technology, where we are discussing the different types of cell organelles, which are the cell organelles are there and what is their function. For the reason we are considering a normal diagram, and this diagram belongs to a generalized cell. Observe here, if this is the diagram in front of you, this diagram is called as the diagram for the generalized cell. If you observe, if you are finding here three types of parts are there regarding the generalized cell. Which are the three parts? Number one, cell membrane. Number two, cytoplasm, and number three, this is the nucleus. So it's the first part, cell membrane, second part, cytoplasm, and third part is nucleus. If you observe here, what you find out that, can you imagine what is the function of cell membrane, also called as the plasma membrane? So generally, if you observe, this is what the outer covering of the cell, that is called as the cell membrane. So it encloses and protects the cell. This is the first thing. Next one, using this cell membrane, we can separate one cell with the help of the another cell, and this cell membrane is also responsible for what purpose? It is used for entry and exit of the special kind of things. For example, entry for only those substances which are useful, and exit for only those substances which are waste. I think this is nothing but the function of cell membrane. Let us see one by one. Observe, this is the first point, cell membrane. So first, what is the cell membrane? So outermost lining of a cell is called as the cell membrane or the plasma membrane. Now what are the functions? Number one, it encloses and protect the cell. So all the cell organelles which are inside the cell, you have to protect that, and for the reason you have the cell membrane. Second, it separate one cell from the another one with the help of the cell membrane. And the most important part, that is the main part, it is called selectively permeable. Why it is called selectively permeable? Because it permits, selectively stands for only selected things, and permeable stand for permission. So which are the selected things which having the permission? Number one, those things which are useful for the cell, that are having with the help of the pores, which are small pores are there, through which they get entered into the cell, and exit for only those substances which are called as the waste material. So this is what only the selected things get inside and selected thing gets outside. Because of that, it is called as the selectively permeable. So this is what the first point, it is called as the cell membrane. Now the most important point, that is what the second point, it is called cytoplasm. And as we observe the diagram, the cell membrane, excluding the cell membrane, the inner part of the cell, complete inner part of the cell without a nucleus, excluding nucleus, it is called cytoplasm. And in the cytoplasm, different types of cell organelles are there, and each cell organelle, it's having its own function. So what is cytoplasm? Number one, observe, it is a gel-like substance in which the excluding nucleus, all the part is called as the cytoplasm. Inside the cytoplasm, different cell organelles are there. Number one, this is the first part. Observe the diagram. If you observe the diagram, inside some kind of substances are to be stored here. That's why this is the first diagram in front of you, which is called inner cell organelles, inner part of the cell. Can you imagine what is the name of this diagram? Yes, the name of the diagram is vacuole, where it is used for the storing purpose. यहाँ सब कुछ store होगा. Which kind of things are stored here? Of course, they are used to store the nutrient, water. Sometime it may store waste also. Let's see the function one by one. First point, storage area. What is used? It is used for storing the various substances which are dissolved in water, because it is the inner part. So what it store? It may contain the important storage substances like nutrient, water. Sometime it may store waste product also, if they are not excreted from the body. And the main thing, they are also used to maintain the shape of the cell. So these are the 3 points which are very important from the vacuole point of view. So this is the first organelle present inside the cell body. Second one. Now second part, observe, this is a part. If you observe, you found that here some kind of structure are there, and here this structure is nothing but called as the guess. What is the diagram? This diagram is for the mitochondria. You know that what is mitochondria? It is called as the powerhouse of the cell. Why it is called powerhouse of the cell? Because it is used basically to provide the energy to the cell to perform the different activities. Whatever activities are performing in our body, of course we require energy, and for the reason someone is there who provides energy. So the answer is mitochondria. Observe, it is called powerhouse of the cell. Why? Second point, because they produce energy for the cell to perform its activity. This is the second part. Now the third part, this is what a part, this is the diagram. If you observe, you found like a sacs and they are present in the form of pouches. So observe, if you observe this diagram, what is the name of diagram? It is called Golgi apparatus, also called as it having one more name, it is called Golgi body. So of course a sac of membrane bound pouches if you observe inside the diagram. So generally, what is the function of the Golgi apparatus? Number one, it is made up of sac of membrane bound pouches, and the function is what? Storage, packing and modification of the important thing like protein, enzyme, hormone, fats, etc. So what are these protein, enzyme, hormone, fats? These are the essential substances required for the cell body to perform its different activity. So where it gets stored, where it gets packaged, where it gets modified, so all the things are within the Golgi apparatus only. So this is the next one part, or the cell organelle present inside the cell body, that is called the part of the cytoplasm. Okay guys, next one, we have one more. If you observe the diagram, this diagram is for what? Can you imagine? It is called like the suicide bags. Am I right now? It is called lysosomes. These are called suicide bag of the cell. Why they are called suicide bags of cell? Observe, because these are the sacs of digestive juices. What does this mean? When the cell having waste cellular products like pathogen, maybe a bacteria, viruses that are engulfed by the cell. So of course such things are to be digested, and for the reason such a waste cellular product that can be digested by these lysosomes, that's why they are called as the suicide bags of the cell. Okay, so this is what the main function. So it nothing but what lysosome? It contains some kind of chemical substances, and that is help for the digestion purposes. Okay, so this is what the function of the lysosomes. Next we have a diagram, and this diagram having the interconnected network of the long tubes are there. Of course it is called ER. What is the ER? Endoplasmic reticulum. And the main thing, what is the function? To transport of the protein. What is the main function? Transport of the protein that has been done inside the body of the cell. It is because of the ER, that is called endoplasmic reticulum. So this is what the next structure, next cell organelle present in the cytoplasm. We have one more point, it is called as the ribosomes. It is the ribosome. So this is what the diagram of the ribosome. Now question is what? A free or membrane bound structure, and ribosome play a very important role in the synthesis of the protein. Although of course carrying protein transport is done by ER, synthesis of the protein is done by the ribosomes, and in the same manner packing, storage and modification of the protein done by the Golgi apparatus, and so on. So different types of organs are performing different types of the functions inside the body. What is the main purpose behind this? Of course, whatever the activities that are performed by this cell, all these activity required energy, and for the reason all these cell organelles helps them. Okay, we have one more. It is called a kind of green in color. Of course it is a kind of plastids. So this is the diagram is regarding plastids, and this is membrane bound organelles, maybe a spherical or oval in shape, and generally they are found only in plant cell, not in animal. This is what the difference. If you someone ask you what is the difference between plants and animal cell, then we can tell, we can discuss like that. The plastids is the concept where it is present in only plant cell but not in animal cell. Example, in the process of photosynthesis you should have one kind of like chlorophyll you require. So this chloroplast is a kind of plastids. Of course, it is present in the process of photosynthesis, and that is only present in the plant cell because they are the autotrophs, and that's why these plastids are not present in the animal, but they are present in the plant. Okay, so this is what the one of the most important cell organelles present in the plant body along with the part of the cytoplasm. One more we have, and this diagram is of the centrosome. This is the diagram of the centrosome, and kind of like a cell organelle which is present only in animal, not in plant. Again, differentiation point of view, and this is used basically for the cell division. It is used for the cell division. So these are some of the parts of the cytoplasms are there. Now, as at the start we discussed that the cell body is divided in, generalized cell is divided in three parts. Number one, cell membrane. Number two, cytoplasm, and this is the last part. It is called as the nucleus, and this is the diagram of the nucleus, and this is the main part of the cell which perform all the activity. That is called the control center of the cell. Now let's see which are the different parts of the nucleus. Yes, if you observe this flow chart or the chart, if you found that the nucleus is basically divided in four parts. The first is called nuclear membrane, second is called nucleoplasm, third one is called nucleolus, and fourth one is called as the chromosome. Let's see one by one. Just like a cell membrane, here nuclear membrane is there. So you can imagine what should be the function of the nuclear membrane as compared to the cell membrane. So this is the first function, nuclear membrane, a double layered nuclear membrane which has several openings called nuclear pores, and it is used to help in exchanging the material between the nucleus and the cytoplasm. So of course, nucleus is a different part, cytoplasm is different, so you have to be exchange some kind of useful material. So for the reason nuclear membrane is required. Okay, so this is the first part is called nuclear membrane. Second part, we have the nucleoplasm. So what is nucleoplasm? Of course, nucleoplasm basically maintaining the shape and the structure of the nucleus. This is what the function of the nucleoplasm. Along with that, the shape of the nucleus has been maintained. Number of different functions are there, but here we have like fluid like substance are present in the nucleoplasm. Inside the nucleus, the nucleoplasm is there, and because of that, here the nucleoplasm is able to maintain the shape and the structure of the nucleus. Third, we have nucleolus. This is a very important part, and it is used for the protein synthesis. It is used for the protein synthesis inside the nucleus. This is the function of the nucleolus. And last is called chromosome. As we know that what is chromosome? They are thread like structure, and generally they are used to carry the genetic information from one generation to the another generation. So these are the four parts are there regarding the nucleus. Okay, so this is what the part of the cell organelles that we discussed, the general structure of the generalized cell structure of the normal cell along with their three parts, cell membrane, second cytoplasm, and last one is called the nucleus. I hope you understood this video. Okay, if you understood the video, please subscribe my channel and press on the bell icon for the new notification. Thank you.